I suppose that is the very first time we've got any kind of idea from anybody of reputation that this is probably a tougher conflict than we first anticipated for the king. With an unexpected boldness, Prince Louis ultimately breaks his silence on Camilla, and what he well knows shows is virtually awful. He has shattered the royal family's calm facade, revealing tensions which have been hidden for years. Jacob, what may want to this probable imply for Camilla? Join us as we resolve details of this improbable moment and how it is able to modify the monarchy's future. The youngest royal. From the instant Prince Louis of Wales entered the world, his infectious charm and mischievous antics captivated the public. The youngest baby of Prince William and Princess Kate, Louis's sunny nature regarded destined to bring joy to anyone he encountered. Born on a vibrant spring morning, April 23, 2018, at St. Mary's Hospital in London, his arrival sparked a party befitting royalty. Across the city, gun salutes echoed, church bells chimed, and the country fell in love with the most recent member of the House of Windsor. Choosing his call was a planned and significant procedure for William and Kate. They settled on Louis Arthur Charles, a nod to his grandfather, now King Charles III, and the overdue Louis Mountbatten, a dessert of great historic influence. While the name carried weight and records, few may want to have predicted how a good deal individual Louis could deliver to it. Even at his christening on July 9, 2018, his persona started out to polish. Held at the Chapel Royal in St. James's Palace, the ceremony turned into a regal affair, entire with Louis's elder siblings, George and Charlotte, standing proudly by his side. But just then, their closeness became already glaring, and the family images from the day become ideal. As Louis grew, it had become clean he became something but every day. His public appearances had been memorable, with his first essential event trooping the color in 2019, grounding his status as the scene stealer of the own family. Enthusiastically waving from the Buckingham Palace balcony, his obese little arms and brilliant eyes gained over onlookers, and enthusiastically waving from the balcony. Life at domestic for Louis became a sensitive stability of royal tradition and familial closeness, split among Kensington Palace and Anmer Hall. The Wales family labored to create surroundings wherein duty and normalcy coexisted. For Louis, this meant days full of easy joys like playing out of doors, gardening, and baking alongside his siblings. Princess Kate's hands-on parenting ensured her children experienced as a good deal normalcy as possible, no matter their royal popularity. These adolescents also nurtured the bond among Louis, George, and Charlotte. As the eldest, George often assumed a peaceful and composed demeanor, befitting a future king. In contrast, Charlotte clearly took the position of the assertive older sister, frequently preserving Louis's antics in check with a maturity beyond her years. Despite their sibling bond, Louis's playful nature occasionally led to lighthearted quarrels. Whilst Louis mischievously attempted to blow out Charlotte's candle, much to her dismay and all of us else's enjoyment, Louis's first entrance into schooling began in 2021 when he began attending Wilcox Nursery School. Photographs of him on his first day showcased his signature grin, a tiny backpack perched on his shoulders as he launched into this new bankruptcy with enthusiasm. The photo captured his curiosity and eagerness to explore the world around him. Life inside the Wales household became not without its challenges. As public figures, balancing the demands of royal lifestyles with the want to shield their youngsters from immoderate scrutiny become a consistent warfare. By 2022, the circle of relatives underwent a widespread transition. Relocating to Adelaide Cottage in Windsor, the move offered more privateness and space for their growing children. Also, it marked a brand new chapter in Louis's training, as he joined George and Charlotte at Lambrook School, an esteemed prep faculty in Berkshire. This shift symbolized now not simplest a change in scenery, however, also an evolution inside the kids' upbringing, with a focal point on nurturing their educational and private increase in a greater secluded putting. Louis's playful spirit persisted to shine, each at home and in public. Whether it was his unfiltered reactions during formal events or his mischievous interactions along with his siblings, he continually added a sense of joy to royal activities. His particular blend of individual reminds the arena that it's far regularly the smallest contributors who go away the largest impressions. But there was one person Prince Louis couldn't come to terms with: the dynamics among Prince Louis and Queen Camilla. Louis shared a warm bond together with his mother and father, siblings, and maternal grandparents, but his reference to Queen Camilla regarded less straightforward. To people who observed royal affairs carefully, the relationship between Louis and Camilla appeared mysterious, as public moments hardly ever showcased a near connection between the two. Even after he reached glories in his life, he remained internally grappling with his relationship with his mother and with his father. The two couples remained close to the last 40 years, so why shouldn't they remain close to the last 40 years? Why shouldn't the public share a warm bond together with his mother and his father? Their relationship with his mother, too. This has left many to wonder if this distance was due to a lack of time collectively, or deeper, greater complicated dynamics. Camilla, regarded for her reserved demeanor, had spent years navigating her role within the royal circle of relatives. Many renowned her willpower to royal obligations and charitable paintings, but her courting with Prince William, and by extension his children, remained a topic of scrutiny. The shadow of beyond familial tensions maintains to linger, as William and Camilla's history was marked with the aid of the chaotic breakup of his dad and mom marriage. Insiders regularly describe their relationship as courteous, however formal, lacking the warmth predicted of near familial bonds. As a younger and perceptive boy, Louis probably sensed the underlying tensions inside the family dynamics, even though he couldn't absolutely realize their complexity. Children have an uncanny capacity to pick up on unspoken feelings, and Louis's lively character made him specifically attuned to the cutting edge around him. It's viable he subconsciously diagnosed that his interactions with Camilla have been awesome, from those with different family contributors. Despite this, there have been brief moments that hinted at the capability for a better bond. It was moments like those that solidified his popularity, because the cheekiest of the whale's children endearing him to the public. One such example befell for the duration of a Christmas stroll at Sandringham, whilst Camilla placed a mild hand on Louis's again, guiding him forward. This seemingly small gesture sparked full-size dialogue among royal watchers, who speculated whether or not it signified a growing connection or turned into merely an act of kindness. Throughout the months that accompanied, questions on their courting brewed inside the background. Louis, recognized for his candid nature, was unafraid to express himself. It regarded inevitable that his colorful character could eventually conflict with the elaborate dynamics of royal life, developing a second that could seize countrywide attention. Brendan. As 2023 spread out, Louis continued to carve out his identification as the youngest and most active member of the royal circle of relatives. Though his public appearances had been confined due to his age, each one had become a tremendously predicted occasion. Louis's unfiltered reactions, cheeky antics, and heartfelt moments set him aside from his extra-composed older siblings, Prince George and Princess Charlotte. These public glimpses of Louis' individuality additionally shed light on his interactions with various family contributors, in particular Queen Camilla. Over the years, Camilla had moved from a divisive discern to a reputable member of the royal family. However, her relationships within the own family's internal circle, specifically with Prince William and his kids, observers speculated whether or not his candidness reflected his age, a completely unique persona trait, or something deeper. In contrast, Louis's courting with King Charles seemed warm and affectionate. Charles, recognized for his love of nature and storytelling, regularly frolicked along with his grandchildren, teaching them about environmental conservation and sharing testimonies from royal records. Louis's boundless energy and curious thoughts seemed to thrive in those interactions. Camilla's position in Louis's lifestyles, however, seemed less defined. Public presentations of love among the two were uncommon, and once they did occur, they often felt formal instead of familial. This diffused difference did no longer move omitted by way of royal observers, who saw it as a mirrored image of the wider dynamics at play. The evaluation between Camilla's reserved nature and Louis's outgoing persona indicates the challenges of their relationship. However, the basis of the tension turned into believed to stem from the long-standing difficulties among Camilla and William. While each were cordial in public, insiders regularly hinted at the underlying complexities in their interactions. For Louis, those ancient tensions have been beyond his know-how, but the energy they created likely motivated his perceptions. Children are remarkably intuitive, and Louis's unfiltered honesty made it difficult for him to mask his emotions. His movements frequently pondered the dynamics around him, even supposing he could not articulate them. Such was childhood relationships with his parents, until he remembered one night when he was supposing he could not articulate them. The simplicity and purity of his gesture introduced smiles to the ones round him, a reminder of the deep connections that maintain families. However, the absence of Queen Camilla's name on Louis's card did not go overlooked. At first, it seemed like an harmless oversight, a young child's focus on the ones closest to him. However, whilst the omission changed into lightheartedly mentioned, Louis's response took the room by means of wonder. His words, spoken with the honesty of an infant, carried an surprising weight. His candid words had been shared with the simplicity only an infant may want to deliver, oblivious to their capability impact. He mentioned a second, whilst guarantees of play from Queen Camilla turned into rejection. He spoke with unfiltered sincerity, explaining how she instructed him to leave her room, claiming he became trouble. In the midst of the festive atmosphere, the pleased mood shifted, as his observation brought on a wave of unease. Finally, his conversation brought on a wave of unease. The reaction from those present changed into instant but restricted. Kate, ever attuned to her children's wishes, knelt beside Louis to offer reassurance, her calm demeanor aiming to diffuse the tension. William's status beside her remained composed but relatively stiff, his expression suggesting a combination of marvel and situation. As the Christmas Carol provider came to and quit, the evening left many brooding about the problematic ties that bind the royal-owned family. Louis's honest statement about Queen Camilla opened a window into the human aspect of a owned family that has long been shrouded in formality and way of life. For a public aware of cautiously curated appearances, it changed into an unprecedented and ordinary second, presenting a glimpse of the complexities that exist in the back of the grandeur of the monarchy. If you loved this video, like and subscribe, and also click on the following video shown in your display.